everyone. I'm Yasmine Belle. I'm writer, speaker, founder, and CEO of Belle Capital Management and Woman CEO Inc. My purpose is to create a safe space to have the courageous conversation of all money matters and everything in between. Coming to you from my home to yours, sharing my wins and losses in hopes to ignite the power in you to dream, execute, and lead with confidence while making an impact. So let's make money moves and join me on Money Matters. Hi everyone, I'm so glad you could join me. I am in my dining room speaking to you. Very excited. This is the second episode. The first one, as you well know, it is during quarantine, so I have no team, I have no staff, and so I'm keeping put. So I had to kind of learn everything on my own, and the old me would have taken the first episode off and replaced it with what I've learned today and as I get my feet wet. But I think that one of the powerful messages that I'm trying to put out is you don't have to be perfect as long as you just put it out there. And I was overwhelmed by all my friends and text messages and calls and just love that I received over Instagram and Facebook and messages. Thank you. You warm my heart. Because you all know, a lot of you guys that know me very well all know how difficult it was to put it out there. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit intimidating. But once I did it, it took me a while. And as you know, I've been wanting to launch this podcast for quite some time, and time was an essence. And I think I don't know, I think I've always wanted to make sure I have the right equipment and make sure I had the right team in place and right time, and I felt like I've always wanted, more. I think it's a perfectionist inside me. But then I said, you know what, Yasmine, it's not about what the background and the production, it's about the content. So I'm bringing it to you raw, real, and I know tomorrow's episode is going to even be better than today's. So it's just a learning curve, and you guys are going on the journey with me. Sorry, this thing keeps moving on my coffee table, or my dining room table, I should say. But I am coming to you from a place of gratitude today, and love and compassion. And during this time, we are all stuck at home. We are all trying to fend for ourselves. And if you have listened to my little clip, which actually wasn't even really supposed to go on YouTube, it was just made for, honestly, Instagram and Facebook story. But then I decided to post it because it gave me the momentum to continue and to actually deliver today. But a few things that people have been reaching out to me and asking me is, Yasmine, how are you coping with this? You have two, one strong business and one in the making, and being at home and being an entrepreneur, and I'm always on the go. And how are you coping with everything? Living in my cottage, in Los Angeles. And I wanted to share a little bit of wisdom and support and love I have gotten along the way. So I'm hoping this will reach out to you, and then you're able to, hopefully it will inspire you to, not be so hard on yourself if you are at this time, and, and just, make things a little bit easier on you. So one of the things I am very thankful for, so thank you so much for all the love I received yesterday. It was really epic. I will truly be grateful. Secondly, I have spoken to my good friend David. Hi, David. If you're watching. And David really, he's an entrepreneur, and he's very big into the being mind strong and, the mind fitness. And he's an entrepreneur, and I adore him. I called him, and I think this, having your support system, I think at this time is so important. So I called him the other day and I said, oh, I'm kind of panicking a little bit. This week has been really tough, for my business, and my clients are freaking out a little bit and all this stuff. And what I was able to, the advice that he gave me was, Yasmine, take April as a 4-week deadline. Don't think about it as, oh my gosh, May, June, just look at it as a 4-week. If you had 4 weeks, what would you do with it? So basically, take it as a 4-week challenge. And when David told me to break it down this way, I was excited about it. I was like, okay, I can do this, because when you're, you hear about the news and it's so encouraging, it really is, and we don't know when things, are going to end, and we don't know when, we can go back to the normal, I guess, but this is our normal right now, so what are we going to do with it, right? And so this is the mindset that we need to all be in, is how can we use what we have and make the best of it. So, and during uncertainty, there's always opportunity. So always think of that when you get down on yourself. So David said, look at it as a 4-week. So I was able to say, okay, in 4 weeks' time, this is who I wanted to be, and this is what I wanted to do. So what was your output, right? And so it allowed me to kind of tap into my inner self and really say, okay, I've been talking about this podcast forever, driving my very close friends crazy, and I keep hearing the same thing over and over again. And I think it was the last straw that broke the camel's back when a friend of mine said, actually it was David, hi David again, he said, oh Yasmine, I really put into play what you mentioned the other day about budgeting and, basically doing a cash pipeline for what your expenses and income is going to be for the next 3-4 months until this quarantine, ends. And he's like, oh, I put that into play and it really was helpful. And I'm like, I get that all the time, which, this is me, right? This is what I do best, and I'm really good at what I do. But, if I can touch my friends and help them, I figured I would, try to help everybody out there. So breaking it down in 4 weeks, ask yourself. So this is for you and as well as for me, because I'm in this process as well. So 4 weeks, break it down. We're in April, beginning of April. This is the perfect time to do this. Who do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish? And what do you have around you that will just move the needle? Just go with it. Take you out from the hamster wheel. This is the perfect time to do things out of the ordinary. Think outside the box, and make sure you have your support system around you, and believe in yourself, because this is really the time to do it. Trust me on this. And this is why I'm not taking down my first YouTube video, because it was epic. By the way, I have learned not only to post on YouTube, but to edit my footage, which means putting all the clips together and adding music. So that was an epic day for me. I was victory. So I will keep that. But what is your, accomplishment? Where do you want to, how do you want to move the needle? Even if it's a small thing, even if it's, I want to be better at this, a skill set, whichever it is, I would love to hear from you. Please leave me a comment. I'm so excited. I want to know. So please keep me posted. So during this 4-week challenge, this is what I would like you to do as extra. I want you to be grateful for one thing a day, just one thing. So one thing a day, I want you to be grateful for something. And you could argue with me that, at this time and place, how could you be grateful? The world is to its knees, and there's so much pain and loss. But trust me, this is when the world needs our strength. So be grateful for one thing. If you're at a house where you come in at home and you can turn on the lights, be grateful for the lights. If you have running hot water, be grateful for the hot water. If you have food on the table, Be grateful for the food on the table, even if it's a loaf of bread. Be grateful that you have animals. Be grateful that you maybe have children. Be grateful that you maybe have a loved one by your side, even though you may want to, you know, throw him off a balcony at this point. I don't know. But, you know, whatever it is, just be grateful for love and everything in your world. Trust me, it will change you. But do that for 4 weeks for me. Please, please, please. So for me, what I'm grateful for many days is sunshine. I love when there's sunshine. I love, and in order for me to kind of get out of my funk sometimes, you know, we always get in our funk. Everybody does. You know, sometimes, and what really helps me is I love listening to my favorite song over and over and over and over again, to a point of ridiculousness, I know. And even my neighbor is like, yes, I've heard that song like 10 times already. I'm like, I know, it's my jam. But you know, whatever makes you happy during this time to get you out of your, you know, kind of low vibe into a high vibe, you want to go for it, right? And then it could be hearing a voice of a loved one. It could be helping a stranger, even though it's really hard right now. But, you know, anything that will help you get happy. So get happy. Give gratitude. Please do it for weeks. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, what I usually love to turn to, which I do daily, is journaling. And yes, you could say, oh, it's a diary, I don't want anybody to read it, and oh my gosh, but trust me, journaling helps me just iron out some emotions, you know, things I might be maybe struggling with, maybe I might be unsure of, and just like iron out those feelings. Sorry, it's my sink. I don't know if you can hear it. My sink is singing. So really ironing out those emotions, and it really helps me because sometimes I will be writing about one thing and it will completely take its course and create something completely different, which I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, we need to build a different, you know, structure plan and build a different office and, you know, move this person to this department and grow this. And it's unbelievable how your mind works if you allow it to just be. So let it be, let it flow. Don't worry about other people. They're not going to care about what you got to write, especially as an adult. Hide it under your, you know, I was going to say under your bed, but, you know, hide it somewhere where if you fear, get a little safe, you know, but do it. It's incredible. And everybody that I have said, you know, I journal every day and have tried it, they go, wow, it's been really great. But, you know, if you write, be in a place of peace, you know. It could be in front of your patio, it could be in your backyard, it could be, you know, next to a waterfall, just somewhere where you can just allow yourself to just let go and just be more in the flow. That really helps. So journal. The third would be to move your body, you know, do yoga, do some stretches. If you can break a sweat, amazing. I know it's really hard right now just to be out and you know, we have no gyms. But if you can break a sweat, fabulous. If not, then, you know, just get out there and stretch and do yoga. I have been doing this yoga with Tim on YouTube, by the way. He is fabulous. If you would like the link, I'm happy to share it with you. But if you Google yoga with Tim, he's just extraordinary. And he's been keeping me on my toes, literally. And so I've been doing yoga with him. And fourth, but not least, which is a very important one, so I kept the last one to, you know, say the best for last, which is, what is your value system? And having a value system is very important, because if you don't stand for something, then you know, will fall for everything. So what is your value system? What are you, you know, what are you grateful for? What is your thing? What makes you you? And so I wanted to share this book that I'm obsessed about, and all my friends will tell you, you're talking about the 4 Agreements. And it's an amazing book, and it's by Don Miguel Ruiz, 4 Agreements. And it's the 4 agreements to live by, right? So the first one is, Be impeccable with your word. Right? Speak with integrity. Say what you mean. Avoid using the words to speak against yourself or gossip about others. Use power in your words in direction of truth and love. See, that's deep, right? Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally, which I know we all struggle with, and it's really hard at times. So nothing others do is because of you, and what others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dreams. When you're immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Now that is something to practice, let me tell you. And when I tell you this is my value system, is because I don't say, it's not even I try. I do my best to practice these all the time, because we get, triggered by a lot of things in life, and it's completely normal. But if you remember these are quite magical. So, and the third is don't make assumptions. And we love to make movies in our heads. So don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. With just one agreement, you can completely transform your life. And I'm 100%, I believe that, 100%. And then the fourth one is always do your best. So your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstances, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. So again, be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. And I think these are great agreements to live by, especially in everyday life. So if you are able to get your hands on this book, please do. This is the perfect time for you to brush up on your book. And of course, Don Miguel, he's amazing. He actually wrote other books as well, which I have, and I actually have the mystery, the Mastery of Self, which is actually really, really good as well. So if you get your chance, again, read it. It's amazing. But I will leave you with that, you guys. So this is how I am coping in this incredible world we live in today, and I'm very grateful. I journal, I stretch and do my yoga, and I live by my 4 agreements. And if I can touch a soul along the way, then I have done my due diligence. So I'm so thankful for you tuning in and listening to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope I brought some light to your day. So bye. Thank you for allowing me to share with you my little nuggets of wisdom that I have learned along the way. So please like, share, subscribe, and until next time, be safe and big kisses.